For months, astronomers assured us that 3I, ATLAS would be nothing more than a spectacular flyby. A harmless interstellar visitor slipping past Mars before vanishing back into the dark between stars. Just another wandering fragment from a distant system, here briefly, then gone forever. But the universe rarely offers harmless encounters without reason. And now, James Webb, our most sensitive eye in the void, has delivered data that overturns the entire narrative. The numbers have changed. The trajectory has shifted. And for the first time, scientists are quietly acknowledging a possibility no one wanted to confront. 3I, ATLAS may hit Mars. But this is not just a story about a comet. It is a story about precision maneuvers, clock-like gas pulses, and behavior that looks disturbingly intentional. The deeper analysts dig into the data, the harder it becomes to explain what we're seeing with natural physics alone. 3I, Atlas is not drifting. It is adjusting. Steering. Aligning. And the red planet sits directly in its path. When 3I, ATLAS was first detected on July 1, it appeared unremarkable at first glance. A fast-moving blur with a faint coma, entering the solar system at an extraordinary velocity of nearly 87 km per second relative to the Sun. At that speed, it could cross the distance between Earth and the Moon in less than 80 minutes. But raw speed wasn't what unsettled scientists. Interstellar objects are fast by nature. What alarmed them was what came next. Instead of slowing or stabilizing as it encountered increasing solar radiation, 3I, ATLAS began accelerating. Not violently. Subtly. Consistently. Its trajectory tightened in ways that did not match known gravitational models. Even more troubling, its surrounding coma doubled in brightness within weeks. Spectral analysis revealed intense ultraviolet spikes and carbon dioxide outgassing at rates never recorded in any known comet. This was not passive sublimation. It was directional. Then James Webb detected something that changed everything. Embedded within the object's tail were rhythmic pulses. Not chaotic jets caused by uneven heating, but emissions occurring at precise 17-minute intervals. Perfectly timed. Repeating. Consistent. These pulses acted like micro-thrusters, producing measurable changes in velocity and orientation. Natural bodies do not behave this way. But spacecraft do. As Webb, Gemini South, and NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory refined their tracking models, a terrifying picture emerged. What had once been calculated as a safe near miss was revised to a closest approach of just 1.95 million kilometers from Mars. On a cosmic scale, that margin is razor thin. Worse still, simulations showed that an additional velocity change of only 10 kilometers per second, a fraction of what those gas pulses were already producing, would be enough to convert the flyby into a direct impact. A single outburst. A single correction. And Mars becomes ground zero. Even more unsettling, those thrust vectors are aligned almost perfectly with Mars' orbital plane. The object isn't just approaching the planet. It's matching it. Scientists are no longer tracking a random interstellar body. They're watching something aim. Between September 19 and September 30 lies a narrow window where any one of these pulses could shift the outcome irreversibly. This is no longer confined to fringe speculation. A group led by Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb has published a paper proposing that 3I, ATLAS may be artificial in origin. The evidence is difficult to ignore. Radar reflections from Goldstone and from instruments aboard Mars orbiters returned unusually sharp, metallic echoes rather than the diffuse signatures expected from icy material. Internal sources describe the reflections as non-cometary, amateur astronomers soon added fuel to the fire. Long exposure images revealed thin, green, needle-like streams extending from the object, converging toward Mars and pulsing in sync with the 17-minute emissions. These were not random jets. They were collimated, focused, and coherent. If 3I, ATLAS strikes Mars, the consequences would be catastrophic. With an estimated mass of 10 billion tons and an impact velocity of roughly 57 kilometers per second, the energy release would exceed 2 million megatons. Thousands of times more powerful than the largest nuclear detonation in human history. The resulting crater would stretch over 60 kilometers wide and plunge 5 kilometers deep. Debris would be blasted into Mars' orbit, with some fragments potentially escaping into interplanetary space. But the damage wouldn't stop at geology. Mars is home to dozens of active scientific assets. Rovers, orbiters, atmospheric probes, decades of irreplaceable data. An impact would erase entire missions in seconds. Worse still, it could expose subsurface environments long shielded from space. Ancient brines. Dormant microbes. Chemical ecosystems untouched for billions of years. And if 3I, ATLAS carries organic material, or something more exotic embedded within its exhaust, the collision could result in cross-contamination on a planetary scale. Some researchers have described this as reverse panspermia. Not life spreading outward from Mars, but life being delivered to it deliberately. That possibility reframes everything. Leaked information from within the Webb science team intensified concerns. Infrared and near-infrared spectrometers reportedly detected traces of synthetic polymers mixed with natural gases. Structures resembling carbon nanotubes. Molecular chains that do not form spontaneously in vacuum. Even more disturbing were isotopic ratios in carbon and hydrogen that do not match any known solar system signature. In short, 3I, ATLAS contains materials that should not exist in space. As data was quietly shared with major space agencies, emergency task forces were formed. Not because there was any realistic way to stop the object, but because decision-makers were running out of time to understand it. Then something unexpected happened. Silence. Press briefings stopped. Telemetry from Mars missions showed unexplained gaps. Questions about contingency plans were redirected or ignored. Then a phrase appeared in a leaked internal transmission. Impact protocol initiated. No one knows exactly what that means. But insiders claim encrypted signals were sent to every active Mars asset. A strange move, considering there is no known technology capable of intercepting or deflecting 3I Atlas. Unless the purpose of those signals wasn't defense. Unless it was communication. Cryptographers at the SETI Institute tried something radical. They converted the object's trajectory data, velocity changes, and timing intervals into binary sequences. When compressed using standard deep space encoding algorithms, the output was not random. It contained repeating structures. Prime number sequences. Atomic identifiers. Carbon. Oxygen. Silicon. Iron. The building blocks of both life and machines. The implication was chilling. The object's path itself may be a message. Not transmitted through radio waves, but through motion, timing, and presence. A signal written across space. Planetary scientists then noticed another coincidence. The projected descent corridor crossed directly above Elysium Planitia, a geologically young region of Mars marked by symmetrical surface patterns. At its center lies a perfectly circular basin with no clear impact origin and no volcanic residue. Within it are crystalline silicates with unusual refractive properties that emit brief infrared pulses when struck by sunlight. Long dismissed as a curiosity, the basin now looks eerily like a target. As Webb continued tracking, another anomaly appeared. Trailing 3I, Atlas at a fixed distance was a secondary shadow. Not debris. Not gas. Something darker, invisible to radar and infrared, yet clearly blocking light. It moved in perfect unison with the object, unaffected by gravity or acceleration, as if tethered by an unseen mechanism. Something was following it. As the timeline tightened, researchers discovered that the object's closest approaches aligned with rare planetary resonance dates. Alignments long noted by ancient civilizations. The last time similar configurations occurred during a major celestial event was 1908, the year of the Tunguska explosion. Coincidence became harder to argue. Then Mars itself responded. The ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter detected a sudden spike in xenon isotopes rising from beneath the surface near Cerberus Fossae. Seismic activity increased. Subsurface temperatures rose. And magnetometers recorded a faint but structured magnetic pulse repeating every 17 minutes. The same interval. Mars wasn't reacting after the fact. It was synchronizing. Originating beneath Olympus Mons. A region long thought dormant. Mars was answering. Life not as cells, but as information. Structures humanity built without ever knowing why. We thought we were watching a comet. We thought it was random. But James Webb revealed something else entirely. It performed. It aligned. It activated. Mars did not resist. It remembered. Is Mars about to be struck? Or are we?